Alright, hello again. Welcome to today's episode of Winging It. Today we're going to make a chicken ham and cheese lasagna. So you can come alongside and see what we did. Alright, so first things first, we're going to cook up some chicken. I put some seasoning salt and some pepper on mine. You can kind of see it's in a big block because I did not defrost the chicken first. So, a lot of people will tell you, of course, you need to defrost chicken before you cook it, but this is winging it. You can do whatever you want to do. If you choose not to defrost your chicken and you ran out of time like I did, just put some water in the pan with your chicken and it helps the outside not get burnt while the inside's cooking, and the water kind of helps temper it a little bit. And then over here, we're going to put our pasta in some water, boil it until it's al dente, which basically just means it's mostly soft but still has a little bit of hardness to it. So for those of you eating gluten-free, I always use the Tincayata Pasta Joy. Can you see that, hopefully? I think that's the way you say it. Tincayata? I'm not sure. Anyway, it's brown rice pasta, and that's what I always use when I want pasta. Or if you want regular pasta, do that as well. So for the filling of the lasagna, you're going to use some cottage cheese. Let's see, looks like there's 24 ounces. So I'm going to use 24 ounces of it. You can buy whatever brand of cottage cheese you want, or if you don't want to use cottage cheese, use ricotta cheese. It doesn't matter, but I'm going to put it here in this bowl, and then I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt, about a half a teaspoon of pepper. I'm also going to add 1 egg to that mixture, because the egg, I think, helps stick it together. I'm going to add some Italian seasoning that I found in my cabinet. So I'm going to add probably about a tablespoon of that, which I think will go nicely with the lasagna. And this is basically what it looks like before. You're going to mix it all together. That's going to be one of your layers for your lasagna. Alright, we're going to make another addition to our cottage cheese mixture. I just found some Romano cheese in the fridge, so I'm going to grate up probably about a half a cup of that and put it into the mixture. So my chicken's finally unfrozen enough that I could break the two pieces apart, but now the way I'm going to make it cook faster, since I did start with the frozen, is I'm going to cut it in half, lengthwise, so that it cooks a little quicker. So that's a helpful trick if you're cooking frozen chicken versus raw. So now you can see how big my chicken ended up. Cut it up, and that's about the size that I made it, but obviously this is winging it. You can make it whatever size you want to make it for your lasagna. So once your pasta is done cooking, put it in a colander and rinse it with cold water. The cold water helps the pasta not stick to itself. Also, as far as cheese goes, so I totally, when I came up with the idea, oh, I'm going to make some lasagna, I assumed I had some shredded cheese in the freezer. Well, I don't. So we're going to go with plan B. I've got some cheese sticks that I'm just going to cut those into thin strips. If you have shredded cheese, I'm not going to lie, that's probably going to work a little better for you to use. But if not, if you got a block of cheese, just cut it up into thin strips, or even if you have string cheese, cut it up into thin strips and we can use those too. For all you gluten-free people, Hormel Natural Choice has no preservatives in it. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's cooked deli ham. Use the same pan where you just cooked your chicken. Add a little olive oil, about a tablespoon. And then you're just going to fry up the ham until it turns upwards. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second. Alright, so as you can see, the ham is starting to get some brown on it and turn upwards on the sides, if you can see that. And that's about when it's done. Basically, you don't have to fry the ham if you want to. I just like to because it intensifies the flavor when I used it in other recipes. So I'm going to chop them up really tiny along with the chicken and then mix it in with it. So this is the ham on top of the chicken. I'm just going to combine it here with my hands. And I ended up using about, actually 12 pieces of ham because that's how much I had left in my package. So as far as sauce goes, I'm just using some that I had left over from spaghetti night the other night. It's Del Grosso tomato basil. So you can use that, or you can use whatever tomato sauce you find that you like. And the amount, you're probably going to use about 2 cups worth, I would say. Alright, so I re-sprayed down my noodles with cold water again, and they unstuck. So if that happens to you, just spray them down again. So we're going to put our noodles I'm doing this all one-handed, so it's not really going to be very pretty, but yeah, that's okay. So just lay them out in your first layer, so the bottom is covered. And then we're going to use our cottage cheese slash, what sort of cheese did I use? The other cheese. Asiago, no, Romano. I use Romano. You can use Asiago or you can use Parmesan, whatever you want. And you're just going to line some of this mix, add some more tomato sauce on top of that. I ran out of the other sauce, so I'm using some Hunt's now. I'm just going to pour some on top here. There's the Hunt's. Then I'm going to add some of my ham chicken mixture here. Just spread that around. Then I'm going to add some of my cheese slices. You can add your shredded cheese if that's what you're using. Alright, and then you pretty much start all over. Alright, so once you get all the layers assembled, you'll want your cheese to be your very top layer. So as you can see, mine's kind of haphazardly thrown on there, but you'll want to mostly cover the whole top because a lot of people like that cheesy top on their lasagna. But if you like less cheese, then you can kind of make it more sparse like mine is. And so I'm going to put it in the oven, set it for 425, and we'll see how long it takes. I'll come back and let you know. Alright, so that took about 25 minutes, and you can see the end product, and I hope you guys enjoy. Like I said, if you have any other creative suggestions on what you did with your lasagna, just leave them down in the comments. Enjoy winging it, everyone.